Sagittarius, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so take what works, leave what doesn't. Check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus for other storylines or energy waves, especially if I don't catch this one. All right, we're going to start with ethereal visions here. Backwards and upside down. And we're going to try to get a... Oh no, this isn't ethereal visions. This is oracle, mystical moments, whatever. I have such unmemorable names. The Santa Muerte deck had a memorable name. All right. We are grateful for the accurate message we're about to receive for Sagittarius. Okay, we got a little booklet. But we can do this. We can. Uh-oh. So we have pure nature. You've changed in an irreversible way, much like puberty or something like that. You're very different. You've bloomed or gone through some sort of transformation. You're not going the other direction. This is like a stage in life. It was time for you to bloom in this way. And you did, and you'll never be going back to who you were before or what you were before. That's all done. So something major has changed, or some part of yourself has changed, and it's sticking. It's not a new leaf that gets turned over again with the next breeze. This is, you bloomed, you changed, you're becoming more yourself. There's something about this process that's more you, or more true to who you are today. So, I don't know how to order these cards, but we don't, that's not very important. So anyway, and then we have the Mermaid's Love. So this is about two people, or there's two dynamics. Could be work, could be relationship. It's very relationship heavy, so that's where my mind immediately wants to go. They come from different worlds. She's emotional, creative. She loves her world. She's very comfortable in her world. He's intellectual, very smart, very bookish, very professorial, librarianish. And he's very comfortable in this world. He has the wings of the fast-moving intellect. And they're both very happy with who they are. And they come together as equals, each with their own gifts. So this is something you're hoping for, something you're working toward, or something that's just starting to happen in your life, where two very different, extremely different, but equal entities, you and a job, you and a friend, you and a lover, have come together, and you're either already together and are working at the part where you're loving who you are, or you are meeting someone. And this is the only way a union of opposites can work. Work well. You can't, if you're going to be with someone or in a situation that's very different from you, if you're going to be with someone who's very different from you, from a very different background, very different skill set, you each have to be very happy with who you are, because it's not going to work for these opposites to come in together and then be, needing the other one to complete them, needing the other one to bring something to their life. They have to be very happy. They can't be envying the other person's situation or envying the other person's skill set. So that's either something to work towards, or something that's actually going on is you've actually met a match where you're both very comfortable with who you are now at this point, and it'll be a healthy match. So there's a healthy matching of opposites, union of opposites. Except now we've got this stranded card. You launched off maybe in this change, maybe in this relationship, and you just are stuck now. Like, how did you get up into this tree? This was supposed to be your triumphant maiden voyage, but look, you're kind of immature. You're kind of immature. You launched off with a lot of confidence and very little experience, and this is where you're at. You're stuck. You're stuck somewhere. You don't know how you're going to get out of it. Nobody knows really how you got into this situation. You're stuck. You don't see a lot of help. you know, we've got a similar card where you're stuck and you're an elephant and you're stuck in the top of a tower, but we've got keys all around. We've got things you can do. You can see all the things you can do to get out of it. This is, you can't even see. Nobody can figure out how you're going to get out of it. Nobody can figure out how you got in this situation, and nobody's figuring out how you get out of it. You feel very stuck. You might even feel a little ghosted. This has been a good ghosted card for me, because this, there's this mist here, and you just don't know what's going on or how you got here, and somebody's being immature. This is a card of great maturity and self-value and self-worth. And this is a card of like immaturity, overconfidence, lack of experience. You know, you can't, the thing is this kid gonna do this again? No, he hopefully won't. You wouldn't do this again, would you? Well, first he's got to figure out how it happened to begin with. Then he won't repeat the mistakes. He's gonna learn a lot more. He's gonna go back to the drawing board, figure out what on earth happened here, how on earth this happened, and he's going to learn his lesson, because that's what experiences is fucking up and then being like, oh, okay, yeah, that was a fuck up. Try not to do that again. You will do a different fuck up next time. And then we have to the moon and back. So we have the ability to go somewhere, and this one you don't have the ability to go somewhere. Here we have the ability to go somewhere, but choosing not to. So maybe it's an emotional inability to go somewhere. You've got a message in your hand. You've got some heartfelt messages here. This is sort of, and you want to go somewhere. You're looking at the future. You're worried about the future. Maybe you're worried you're going to get stranded. Maybe you're worried that this couple isn't a good match. You're very worried about something in the future. You're not talking about it. You're not going anywhere. You're not moving. You're just hanging out here. You want to go to the moon and back. You want to, you know, be moving, swinging on your little moon swing here, but you're intuiting something about the future, and it's not looking good, and it's keeping you very seated. You don't want to go. Maybe after this stranded voyage, you were like, I don't want to do that again. But here you have this couple here that's a good match, and maybe you don't want to do that again because you're real worried about, well, what happened before was I was stranded. That can happen again. I don't want to do that. It's a possibility. Here's your Moonology deck. Yeah, you have emotions and feelings you're not sharing. Maybe you feel a little stuck. I mean, you definitely feel stuck, and then there's also a choice involved of not wanting to move forward. All right, Moonology, do you have something for us? Yes, you do. New moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. So it looks like you've put some hard work into something and you haven't seen the results yet. So maybe this is assuring you that this isn't going to happen. You went back to the books. You learned what you needed to learn. Yeah, you're worried that it's going to happen again. But this is saying you've done a lot of work since this last time. You've changed. You've grown. And your hard work is going to pay off. It looks like you have a new start somewhere. Possibly in a job, possibly having to do with work, but you have a new start coming in, something new happening, and it's because you've worked hard. It's because you learned the lessons you've needed to learn, and you've grown in the way that you need to grow. Yeah, you're worried about it, but it's going to pay off. What you've done, the work and effort you've put into this is worth it. All right, Capricorn. I did an in-person reading for the first time since coronavirus, and I forgot that they shuffle the cards and they cut the deck. Because it's their cut, right? And I adapted for this, and it felt weird doing these shuffles and not having the other person's energy and choices going into it. But then when I did it the other way, I was like, what is going on, and why are you touching my cards? So anyway, this little nervous shuffle is about trying to approximate what would happen in an in-person reading. This is ethereal visions. Capricorn, this is your past, this is your present, This is your inner landscape. This is what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Yeah, so in your recent past, you have this Ace of Wands. You have this passionate new beginning that came in, maybe surprised you a bit. There was a lot of growth here, a very exciting new beginning, much like this kid felt when he launched his maiden voyage and he was going to show everyone what a great sailor he was. So you have this passionate new beginning, Ace of Wands, very creative, very inspired, new start here, launching of a ship, very exciting. But then something happened, and now we're worried. See, I'm so glad this card showed up because this is what I'm seeing in this card. Now we're worried. We have a nightmare. We're having nightmares possibly about what happened before, what was supposed to be our big launch, our big new beginning. We're having this nightmare about it. It's all in our head. We're actually safe in our bed, which is what I think this is seeing by your hard work is paying off. You've done a lot of work. You're safe in your bed. But here are just the specters of your fears and your depressions, and they're laughing at you. They're making fun of you, you know, because this happened. And they're laughing at you and making fun of you, but it's kind of just all in your head. You're actually safe. You're in your bed and you're just worried. These are your worries and your fears, and they've come to taunt you and torment you. This is our nightmare card. You're having... I don't want to say mental health issues, but the problems you're having right now are in your head. You're very worried about something. You're very concerned about something. There's an element of public humiliation you fear. This is what's holding you back. You're very worried about the future here. That's your present situation. Your hope is to have this new, clever, smart beginning, a new, you're hoping for some sort of inspiration, some sort of truth to come out, some sort of, I want to say certainty, because this other thing that happened was it was inspired, it was intuitive, it was exciting, and then it went to crap, and you're having all sorts of anxiety about it, and it's not going the way you wanted it to go, and then so you're hopeful of this like clarity coming in, a lot of clarity, a lot of very clear inspiration and truth coming in. That's what you want. You're craving that. Some clever solution to this, some clever way out. That's what you want. You want this new start, a new idea, a new truth. What's coming up here is the Judgment as an issue, and we take this in the reversal. So this is about your past coming back to be your past, coming back to be re-examined and re-looked at, and maybe some consequences or the decisions you made before coming back in and being time to be evaluated. This might not be a very good evaluation because it looks like you made some mistakes. But you know what? You changed. You grew. We have this. Your pure nature. You grew. But your past mistakes are haunting you. The past situation is coming back. I mean, it's haunting you in your nightmares, but it's also, you might be worried that this is going to happen more than it's actually going to happen. But you're very worried about judgment, about being judged, about your past actions coming back for evaluation. And you're very concerned about that. You're not happy about it. So that's what's at issue, is this past coming back. And it's not, normally we see this card and we're like, oh, yay, something coming back, rising from the dead, this old passion, old love, or something like that. And this isn't going very well. And you might just be worried about it. It might not even be happening yet. You're just very concerned that a past mistake is going to come back and bite you in the ass. Like, what if video of this surfaces? Oh my gosh. That's what's keeping you up at night. You're very worried about the past coming back to haunt you. In your environment, you have this Four of Cups. So someone's offering you something, some sort of help or something, but you're not taking it. You've already had enough. This could be just an environmental vibe or someone in your environment who's already had enough. They're not even looking at this new offer, this new offering. They had this, they're full up, they're not thirsty anymore. There's an offer on the table that someone's not even looking at because they've already had this. And it could be, I already went sailing. I know exactly how that turns out and I'm not doing it again. I don't want to try to date someone again because I know how it turns out and I don't want to do it again. So you can just rescind your little offer, you idiot, because I know where this goes. This goes where I'm stuck, I'm stranded in a tree, I'm tired. So something like that. Could be a job, could be, but I do get really clear relationship vibes off of this too. So, so there's an offer on the table, but you're not looking at it because you've got this whole past thing, you've got all these fears, you're not interested. Your to-do list is very fascinating. It's this Two of Wands. We have this general who's ignoring his intuition. It could be ignoring what you think is your intuition, ignoring your fears. And he's just focused, laser focused on what is. And this can be a really good exercise for getting rid of this. Writing down, taking inventory, actual inventory. What ships do you actually have? What cargo do you actually have? What words were actually said, not what you interpret them to say, what actually happened. Just assessing what is. And this is an interesting energy because normally we want you in your intuition. You already have your intuition here though. It's already with you and you're still worried about the future here. So this is asking you to come into an energy where you calculate what you have, you look at what's yours, you look at what's not yours. This could be responsibility for whatever happened in the past. This could be, you know, what is your responsibility? What is not your responsibility? What do you have to work with? This is very concrete thinking. And this is only looking at what is. Only looking at what is because we already have our intuition here and it apparently isn't helping very much. And it was this whole intuitive start that got us into a nightmare anyway. So we need clarity. We need concrete clarity here. We need to see the truth and we need to see what is. Not that your intuition isn't the truth, but I think what you need, especially with this nightmare card and this judgment card, is to just do some real honest assessments. And we've got this Ace of Swords. It's what you want. You want to do some honest assessing, okay? Don't forget your intuition. Do not forget it. But the energy you're being called into right now is to look at what is and make some plans and make some calculations. Look at what is. See, you started this out with your just excitement. I'm going to be a sailor. I'm going to be a sailor. I'm so excited. I'm going to be a sailor. And then you took off. Now here we have a general of a fleet of these things, a fleet of these ships. And how he got here was by looking at what is. I mean, yeah, he's got to actually, generaling involves a lot of intuitive work too. But he's looking at his ships now and he's seeing what is. And that's what you wanted. You're hoping you're going to get this clarity. You're hoping you're going to be able to see what is, because you're not really trusting your intuition right now, because this is where your intuition took you. Your intuition took you on that journey for a reason, and you ended up doing a lot of hard work because of it. And now it's going to pay off. But I think this is, it's funny because it's not how I normally interpret this card. I normally interpret this card as you're ignoring your intuition and you're just looking at what is when you have this whole message right here that you need to look at. But this is actually like, I think this is okay. I think you're being called into this because I think that this honest assessment is what's going to get you out of your head and what's going to get you out of this nightmare and out of your fears and out of your worries about the future, and is going to help you open up your eyes to whatever offer is on the table so you can honestly evaluate the offer and not be living in this fear and this worry. And then your possible outcome is the Magician. So I think this card is calling you to actually to look at your pentacles and what you actually have, and not so much your intuition. But then your intuition comes in later with the Magician and being able to manifest and bring something really beautiful into fruition, being able to blossom and bloom into your next stage in life, being able to come into relationships with others with a full confidence in loving who you are and making sure that that's fair. You've learned from your mistakes. You're very worried about your future, but your hard work is going to pay off. And what do you become? You become a master manifester. You get to bring in this energy here of being able to make your dreams come true. He's got his intuition now. It's back in his hand. We started off with the intuition in the hand. We started off with this grand plan. Everything went awry. It's been a fucking nightmare. All we want is some clarity, some truth. We're worried about the past coming back to haunt us. But here, we look at what is, we look at what we've got, we take an honest assessment, and now we come in as the magician. We've got our wand is back in our hand, right where it belongs. We've got our swords, we've got the truth, we've got our ability to communicate clearly, we've got emotional connection, we've got our pentacles, and we're able to bring all of these things together to create something really beautiful and actually reset sail, and reset sail with a wonderful, successfully. So we've put a lot of work, but where are we going with this work? This internal work and maybe even some external work too. We're going to magician. We're going to be able to bring one of our dreams into fruition here. We're going to be successful in that. It's going to feel like magic. But what it really was hard work. So you're going to come into a new beginning that you have earned. Looks like you've earned it the hard way too. Experience is quite a teacher. So, all right, Sagittarius, I hope that was helpful for you. I do so love your comments, likes, and subscribes because they are encouraging to me, and they also raise the vision of the visibility of the channel so that other people can find these messages and find them helpful too. So, have a great week.